Gaming while black. Chad, do we have any black gamers? We should watch this. I didn't hear this. What the hell is this? Gaming while black?
Hey, what's up, guys? Up here. So today we have quite the series of rabbit holes we're going to be going down, beginning with this tweet right here, sharing a preview of a film titled Gaming While Black. And of course, it sounds just the way it's described. It is black people describing their experience as a gamer. And in this case, one particular person, I guess, is adjacent. We'll get into that, don't worry. But in
adjacent?
In this, we're going to cover some of the points they're trying to make in this preview. We're also going to look at the people involved with the production of this film and how many of them are connected to some current gaming drama going on. So, without further ado, let's get a little sneak peek of Gaming While Black.
Okay.
Best ideas come out of not being the same.
There were just like little breadcrumbs along the way of like, oh, wait a minute.
My left ear is enjoying this a lot.
People to just recognize that this is important without the extra gasoline on the fire.
Okay, so there's a lot of points there. Beginning with the whole, there's a lot of me in there with these games. And as always, I think this push for mirrored representation in every single piece of media consumed is ridiculous. If you want some me in there, why don't you play a round of real life mirror simulator and just go to find the nearest mirror and stare at it until you're bored. You'll feel lots of representation with that. But anyways, it seems very clear to...
I've met plenty of black people that liked white characters or Asian characters or Mexican characters. Like, I've met them and they enjoyed video games, even if it wasn't their race. Plenty of times, because people generally don't care about their race because they're not racist. I know, mind-blowing.
A lot of people in this documentary and also on Twitter and other places like that, that representation plays an equal or even greater value than actual storytelling or characters or gameplay. And that's a really weird thing, and it's pretty hard to take people like that seriously. On top of that, this mention of gasoline on the fire. The people putting gasoline on the fire is the gaming industry, at least the bad parts of the gaming industry, whether it's developers, journalists, what have you, making very disparaging statements about gamers. And 2024 really proved just how bad it can get with all of the bad actors causing a lot of trouble and damaging the reputations of a lot of studios because they can't keep their mouth shut. Like, how are you supposed to react as a gamer when people in the industry are openly saying they hate you?
The consumer, by the way, that's directed to the consumer. It's not like you're telling off people that are like, oh, I don't play video games. I'm a car person. I don't have time for video games. You're like, the gamers are the bad people.
That's adding gasoline on the fire.
That's just mind-blowing.
Everything that is involved with these bad actors, everything they do is about race and dividing people. And this film is literally dividing people. It's putting
divide them. We didn't have that happen a long time ago or anything. Actually, not even that long ago. When did that happen? In the 1950s or 60s? Was not that long ago. It's not even been a century, chat. We're almost back.
Labels on gamers. They're not just gamers, they're black gamers now. We're literally separating people by race. And also, if you're interested, this is the individual right here. He said that, oh, that's me, right? This James Davis individual. And come to find out, they work at Naughty Dog. And with the intergalactic...
Former associate Diablo 4 producer, coordinator at Naughty Dog, and creative director at Rooster Teeth. I thought Rooster Teeth died. Didn't we watch a video a while ago, like a year ago, of Rooster Teeth being dead? They shut down. So then why are you stating that? It died like 3 years ago? I thought it was like still around, but it was dying slowly. But anyway, that's besides the point. I just don't know. It's just kind of weird. Naughty Dog and Diablo 4. Associate producer. Oh, Blue Sky! Oh, they're on Blue Sky. They don't want to talk on Twitter anymore.
Drama going on. Doesn't it all add up? Also, they were the creative director at Rooster Teeth, which, yeah, I guess they creatively directed Rooster Teeth to the grave because they shut down in 2024. But let's
they're talking about former. Oh, all of these are former. Okay, understandable.
continue on with the preview here.
I want
Misreading.
to see more creators that look like me.
There's been a lot of examples of representation of Black people in games that have rubbed me the wrong way.
Okay.
Like,
So what she's saying is there's a representation of Black people in gaming that have rubbed her and others the wrong
chat, I think it's to stop copyright strikes. I think the audio being in the left ear is either the original video is in the left ear, or he's trying to avoid a copyright strike because they're very notorious for copyright striking people who criticize them.
way.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I'm not
a lot
sure,
of people
but
have called that out, actually. People like me, other YouTubers, people on social media, gamers in general have called out a lot of these bad representations of Black people in video games. Because
Like what?
really, the representation, at least recently, of Black people in video games is bad. It needs to be improved because it's done so haphazardly. Like, here's the thing.
it's forced. It's quite literally, it's forced, it's condescending. People who care don't care about video games and representation directly. Nobody feels like it's authentic. It's not real. I feel if someone made like an Eastern European video game and then they just started inserting shit where it didn't make any sense, I would feel relatively like I would feel like, why is this happening? Like, what is going on with you? It's not organic. This isn't real. This isn't how history played out. Yeah.
Okay, anytime there is a new Black character that's typically like the protagonist or something like that, it's attached to a game that is virtue signaling. We see games like Dustborn, right? And it makes this very bad feedback loop of pushing out these characters with games that are awful. And really, they're just kind of there because it's part of the virtue signal. I think that's not fair. And also, the majority of Black representation in video games recently has been lazy race swaps. And that is very offensive because what it's saying is that...
No, it's not offensive if it's from another race into... According to Twitter, it's not racist if it's into a Black character. There are plenty of Black superheroes in Marvel and DC. But they have to race swap because they want to identify directly with the character, even though it's a well-written character that doesn't have badly written tropes or unrelatability. They have to visually see it for some reason, which is what I just don't understand.
You're not worthy of having an original story with an original character that's actually good. Instead, these studios say, nope, you just deserve a lazy race swap that we're doing to earn virtue signaling points, and you better be happy about it. I find that very offensive, and people like me have been calling that out for a very long time, but because people like that don't agree with us, they don't like our message, they won't acknowledge that's going on. And also on top...
There's a Marvel guy who literally asked people to stop race swapping and make new characters, especially when they keep race swapping villains into Black men, and he's Black. Why are they race swapping villains into Black men? I don't know. Seems kind of fucking weird.
For that, we have seen countless examples of Black people who criticize these points, right? They go against the narrative that's being shared in videos like this, and everyone around them, the tolerant people, immediately turn on them and call them Uncle Toms and all these other horrible things. It happens over and over again.
Yeah.
The moment I heard like, oh, we don't want to help you because we don't know that many Black folks, I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it myself.
I'm gonna be real, I don't think that happened, but...
What?
whatever,
Wait, what did he say?
Do it myself. The moment I heard like, oh, we don't want to help you because we don't know that many Black folks, I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it myself.
Yeah, that happened and the whole room clapped. You're right.
I'm gonna be real, I don't think that happened, but
Yeah.
whatever. Just It's just a small
We don't
comment
want to
here,
help
but,
black
yeah,
people.
Press X to doubt on that one. Also, can we talk about the audio on this? I don't know if it's just me, but the audio on this is atrocious. I don't know if Twitter fried it or something, but also the...
Okay, never mind. It's not him copywriting it. It's actually that bad. Why are you half-assing it?
music is way too loud compared to the actual speaking. But anyways.
It's all in my ear, too. It's so weird.
Alyssa Mercante jump scare. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, in the Gaming While Black film, we're going to be hearing from Alyssa Mercante. She's going to speak in just a second, but this is quite unbelievable. Bro thinks she's on the team. It's so crazy. This is like a male feminist trying to speak on female issues, you know, speaking over women. That's the type of vibe we're getting here. But there's something about this, right, that's very confusing. So we've seen multiple examples here of Alyssa Mercante setting this up. This has been in works for quite some time, and she has this photo with two people involved with this. So you have this Aaron Shawnee person who's private. I don't know, typical person involved in the industry, probably got criticized once and immediately privated their account. But then we have Jamal Page, who's the creative director and producer at Black Sparrow Pro, which is making this film. And he had this to say, quoting the picture, saying, "When I think badass, I'm going to think Alyssa Mercante now."
Yeah, she's real badass for doxing people and suing them under false allegations. Very badass thing to do. When I think of badass, I think of war generals and World War II or like Roman generals that led armies. Yes. Yes, Alyssa Mercante is definitely badass.
Yeah, bro's been compromised at this point. I don't know what this is. Is it just like he has a very bad judge of character with her? Is he not seeing how she's perceived? Because including her in this whole thing, not only is it just funny from the optics, right? She's speaking in a documentary or a film that's supposed to be about black gamers, but also she has a very negative, toxic reputation, and it's going to bring a lot of heat onto this, and heat that is not going to translate into any sort of tangible support. But I don't know, again, misjudgment of her character or just openly embracing who she is. Either way, it's not a very good look, but let's continue on.
Just because, like,
California
black doesn't mean, like, get to show, like, black things. Like, oh, like, he listens to rap, he likes basketball. Like, I grew up playing baseball. I love hockey. I'm Canadian.
Ding, ding, ding. Bro spitting. That great. I'm glad we all agree. That's something that people like myself and many others have said over and over again. What's most important is the quality of the character, not, pigeonholing these stereotypical traits.
Yeah, and gatekeeping being X race, because there's people who unironically think like that, though. They want to gatekeep different cultures and different, like, quote-unquote skin colors because you don't fit into, like, the stereotype, and then they say it's not racist, it's, like, keeping the culture together. It's like, okay, so I went to, like, well, I don't own a sombrero, it means I'm not Mexican, I don't drink tequila, I'm not Mexican. Yeah, Lana's not a real Russian because she doesn't speak Russian well. It's like, oh my god, okay.
Just to give what some people believe is good representation. No, just focus on making a character good, and then things like the race of the character are just like secondary traits that shouldn't be the main focus. And that statement has been criticized by people in the industry. A lot of the people even involved in this film, they've dismissed it as something that is racist or intolerant, when it's literally just a fair opinion. I think leads to actual high quality representation by making a good character and then having the other traits to go along with it. It's very, very strange. And also,
there are so many friends that I had in school that were black that loved anime. Do you think, like, there is a representation of black people in anime and in manga, but it's not as much as Asian, white, and I'd say, like, brown. Like, brown's skin. it's fine. Like, you can have that representation. It's also ambiguous. That's why people are like, oh my god, it doesn't matter because they love the character. People even say that Piccolo is black-coded and he's a fucking alien. It's so fucking weird.
I see the irony here, too, of him saying he doesn't like these stereotypical traits, and then in the background there's hip-hop music playing, like, very ironic, unfortunately.
Just make the person great who just happens to be black.
I'm sorry, I paused it a couple seconds too early. There it is. Make a great person just happens to be black. And you can say that about every other race of video game characters, and it all works out good. That's how you make a good game, good story, and a good character. That's all there is to it.
Sometimes
mind-blowing.
to write for black voices, you need a black voice behind it.
That's not true. There are countless examples, I don't think this is hard to believe, where white people have written good black characters and black people have written good white characters.
And this immediately goes back to when people were saying that if you're a VA for a black anime character, you have to be black to voice them. It just seems insane to me you're not looking at the quality of the voice or their acting, because you have to be really good at acting to be a VA. Why is it a 1-to-1, man? Why does it have to be a 1-to-1? You have to have the pigmentation of the character that you play in or voice act in the cartoon or the anime. Doesn't that just seem so like, this character has brown skin, you must have brown skin. You have to match it. Christopher Judge voicing Kratos? Yes, he's black and he's playing a white Norseman.
I think that's too big of a claim to say. I mean, just look at the classic example people bring up. Who made Black Panther? A white dude. I mean, that's really all you need to know, and that's been going on throughout media for a very long time, so
no way.
I just think that's kind of a ridiculous point to make.
No way, what? God, this audio is killing me.
So dramatic.
We stand with the people who work at our studio. We stand with a more diverse industry.
No, you don't.
We support the concept of a more diverse industry, telling more diverse stories. There's plenty of games out there for you to buy. If you don't like this, don't buy it.
Okay, based. Yes, don't buy it. We won't. People will continue to buy Dragon Ball Z Sparking, and they will enjoy it because it's all about being a good game and their favorite anime. Yeah, you make your own IP and you'll see how that works out, and then you'll blame all those people for not buying their game. People will play many video games that will be amazing. Also, then after people, they don't buy, why are they not buying our product? I don't know. I don't know what the mentality is. It's a mental gymnastic. They don't like Sparking Zero? It's not diverse enough, Caius. It's not diverse enough. Even though it literally has aliens from different planets and they all fight each other. It's based on the anime. I know. They don't care. They need to have like extra self-insertion.
Believable. Instant meme right there. That last statement. We'll get to that in just a second, but there's so much to unpack with Alyssa Mercante and her contribution
She's a lovely
to
woman.
this Gaming While Black film. Number one, she talks about hating or wanting to support more diverse stories. No, you don't. Because if you support diverse stories, that means you support all stories. And you would not, 100% would not support a white story because she hates white people. It's very obvious. She says you can't be racist against white people. She has many tweets disparaging white people.
This is from 2024. You can see it. 2024, March. I thought this was a tweet from 2014, maybe. That's right! Bro, what?
invoking or telling people to beat up white people, saying old white men don't belong in the industry, all of these things. It's very clear those stories don't matter her, so she does not support diverse stories. Now, this other part here about support, right? We support these narratives, support films like the one we're talking about today. The support just isn't there. It really isn't. We've seen a lot of examples.
Above all, the purpose of this film is to elevate Black voices already doing the work to create a more inclusive space. Why don't we just elevate everyone that's really amazing at their job and stop like doing these hires for people that are maybe not suitable for the job or they need to work on it more? Why don't we do that? That seems like a more fair thing to do. I just feel like in my heart as a woman who feels feelings and is emotional, why don't we just take the most exceptional people, no matter what race or skin color or orientation they are? I know, it's mind-blowing. Typical woman.
Examples like with Black Girl Gamers, we talked about that channel.
Yeah.
On Twitter, they pop off, right? All of the activists in the industry constantly promote their stuff because it's good for their optics. But then you go to their YouTube channel and they're getting like 40 views a video because people who are virtue signaling as a form of support for them don't actually engage with their content. They just like how it makes them look when they comment briefly on a tweet on Twitter, because to them, supporting an agenda is more important than supporting a person. And that shows itself time and time again. And the support for this film is a great example of this. So on the Black Sparrow Media website here, you can see the donate here link. Now, I don't know if there's just an issue on my end, but when I click on this, it gives me an error. And the most recent screenshot I could find, which was from earlier this morning, was this, right? Here is their fundraiser. In about a month, you can see the oldest.
They donated $150 from the same like family. Like it's a brother and a brother. Oh no, that's not good. That's not good. Where are the people at chat? Are the racists putting them down? They are taking away their donos. Money laundering. You think so? You think so?
This donation being 25 days ago. In about a month, they have raised $370.
That's the goal.
$370. And only 5 total people have donated. And one of them, who gave the lion's share of this fundraiser, is anonymous. I don't even know who that is. Might have been themselves. So this is the support that we're seeing. I don't see Alyssa Mercante's name up here. I don't see any of the people from this film up on here, or at least the people who came to speak with the film creators. And I don't see the usual suspects on Twitter doing anything either. This is a terrible look for everyone involved with this. It shows that these people, they like to virtue signal, but when it comes to put up or shut up in terms of money, they just don't show up. And it's pretty...
I know this is kind of like not really a tangent, but I saw this coming, I guess, back in like 2014 when the first all-female League of Legends team happened, Siren. And it turned out one of them like was caught account boosting and only one of them was actually really good at like League. And the other ones were all just like really mediocre or like in gold. And they lost all their games. I remember when I played League, unfortunately. I did. I'm an ex-addict. When that happened, I was so embarrassed. It did. I was so embarrassed because it's like, is there really no gamers that were like really good at the time? Really? Like, is it just not possible? Like, are they just not out there? I felt bad, genuinely. I'm just sad, and this happens. Like, how do you feel as a black person when these people try and do this condescending, snarky way of like inserting themselves into the gaming industry without it being organic or genuine? And it's just, It just feels forced. How does that make them feel as like a black gamer, like a real one? Not this like fake, like, oh, I make video games and I'm black and that's my entire personality and I don't, I can't do this. I need to make a gaming while black documentary film. Gaming while white. Imagine. Gaming while Asian. That would sound so bad.
Crazy that they get so little support. And also looking at the Black Sparrow media account here,
so
this
racist.
is the team making this film. 61 followers. I'm not saying that to like dunk on them, you know, who cares how many followers they have, but in terms of supporting, wouldn't like the whole crop of these activists be rallying behind this account? Only 61 followers. And I look at the follower count because or who's following them, right? I didn't see like anyone, hardly anyone from the film actually following this group, which they're trying to support by participating in it. They care way more about having this cameo and being on public display than actually supporting the person and the group who is making it. And I think that just shows, again, everything is so performative.
Happens all
but also,
the
I want to go
time.
back to the end of that clip where she makes this meme-worthy quote right here.
Plenty of games out there for you to buy. If you don't like this, don't buy it.
That is hilarious. I'm so glad that it's
Caught.
Cabrutus Rambo here who's sharing that clip, because the irony of what Alyssa Mercante is saying is just through the roof, okay? So the entire movement of Sweet Baby Inc. Detected, the Steam group that Cabrutus set up, was to list games that Sweet Baby Inc. was a part of, and then people would choose whether or not to play that game, knowing Sweet Baby worked on it. It's literally the same message she is saying right here. If you don't like the games, don't buy them. If you don't...
Games like Animal Crossing are extremely girl-coded, but still every gender and every nationality and every race still enjoyed the game to the point where it was like a world global success, especially during the pandemic when there's nothing to do. That helped a lot. But people enjoy the series for its fun and simplicity. There's nothing... Sure, like, some people aren't into, like, cutesy girly games or, like, games where, like, you're dressing up and, like, collecting furniture. You're allowed to dislike it, but clearly there's a massive overlap of, like, big burly men. Maybe they want to play Animal Crossing because it's a decent game. It's a good game.
like Sweet Baby products, don't buy them. However, Alyssa Mercante views what she's saying right now as some girl boss move. But earlier this year, she was making articles and framing what Cabrutus and Sweet Baby Inc. Detected was doing as harassment. The irony and the hypocrisy is
taking down
insane.
his
It's through the roof. I mean,
profile.
it should be expected at this point, but still, it's pretty flabbergasting to see how just lacking of self-awareness a lot of these people are. And of course, you know, with this quote too, we'll take you up on that. Like, that's what we want to do anyways. We're not going to support garbage, you know, just because we want to score virtue signaling points like people, these activists do all the time. But also, have to point this out. This is now a part of a legendary collection right here.
Oh,
Let's hear
cheese and
some
crackers.
similar comments made in the past on this same sort of
And
logic.
if you don't like my politics, don't buy my book.
Period,
We
queen.
be a bit nicer, a bit more self-reflective, and we enjoy the fact that people are working hard to make free content for you. If you don't like it, don't watch it.
See, if you say the same thing in a calm manner, I think it doesn't come across as badly. Like, you don't like the stream, nobody's putting a gun to your head, you can just not watch it. But the fact that we're going into this high-pitched, like, emotional, condescending, like, pointing fingers, that's what I think that's when you are actually upset. Like, body language says a lot.
Problems.
We be a bit
Classic.
nicer.
Plenty of games out there for you to buy. If you don't like this, don't buy it.
Unbelievable. Straight to
Don't
the
buy it,
archives,
chat. Don't buy
preserved
it.
forever. Yeah, as you can see, unfortunately for Alyssa, the last two examples there, they did not end
They're all
very
white
well.
women.
When you
You're
tell
right.
people to
You're
just
right.
not support you if they don't like you, well, guess what? That's exactly what they're going to do. They're not going to support you. Now, there's one more small portion of this I want to play for a reason I'm going to explain in just a second.
Oh, my left ear.
I want them to understand that, like, this is for you, like, in a real way.
Okay, so very brief statement there, but I bring that up because that individual is named Khalif Positivity Peddler Adams, who has always been involved in the related discourse, constantly talking about any sort of various topics we talked about today in that film we were looking at. But he is someone, again, if we're talking support, he is someone who has a reputation for constantly publicly begging for codes. He doesn't want to actually pay for these games.
I want to try it, but need a code. I thought it was talking about an affiliate code. Yes, use code Kachenkas at checkout, but seriously, you feel like this is ammo for them is being dumb.
He's claiming he supports. And recently he got clowned on for asking for a Dragon Age code. Like, he can't play the game without the code. And even people...
Just buy it, motherfuckers. $50. If it's your job to play video games, like, you can write it off on your taxes. Do people don't understand how taxes work as a business? Like, I understand if it's not your job, you want to get a code. I understand. But, like, you're a game journalist. Like, you can. It's possible.
On his own side, we're saying... This is embarrassing. This is a bad look. You're giving these right-wing grifters ammo. Be smarter. And then he replies with all this cope and then says, be better. Yeah, I get it, right?
They're eating each other alive. You're giving them ammo. Why are you doing this?
Right? Access media. Your job gives you the ability to get these codes, but it's a very bad look for someone who claims they're supporting these various studios to go out there every single time a new game's coming out and saying, please give this to me for free. It's kind of ridiculous. And on top of that, he has a connection to this whole film itself way back in March of last year, where he helped try to raise funds for Black Sparrow Media by giving them a spotlight on his podcast here. But the thing that's odd about this, and the reason I'm pointing this out, is because it appears that Black Sparrow Media already had a fundraiser for this film, which is kind of interesting because you can see it's a dead link, by the way, it doesn't work anymore, and it's Gaming While Black. So it's a fundraiser specifically for the film we're talking about. But
they just had one over here. So they didn't raise enough money, so they tried again.
That is no longer available. And that's kind of odd to me. Like, what was that initial fundraiser for? Was it for something else? A different stage of the production? Or are they simply getting rid of that previous one and kind of double dipping with the current one by re-releasing the fundraiser campaign on a different platform? Just something to pay attention to. But I also bring up Khalif Adams because we have this photo right here of Alyssa Mercante and Khalif back in November
Queen.
at Compulsion Games.
Yes.
Why is that relevant? Well, there's a lot of drama going on currently with Compulsion Games, and there's been drama going on for quite some time. Okay, they are based in Montreal, and they are developing the game South of Midnight, which features
a French-Canada game. No!
A race swap, and also it makes a lot of sense when you think about it because they are a Sweet Dirty Ink client. This is the old client list, and you can see Compulsion Games.
Dude, French
right
Canada,
here.
man.
Now, recently they gave this little teaser of South by Midnight, and people are debating on it. I don't really have much to say on this. Either you like it or you don't. That's pretty much the mixed reaction to this. There's not really a whole lot to see other than just jumping around here, right? But people are now raising some previous grievances involving this company and also one of its community managers, specifically this Katie.
Honestly, I hate gamers. So why do you make video games? It's like walking to a restaurant and saying, I fucking hate people that eat food. I'm gonna be a chef.
One of its community managers, Specifically, this Katie person with the @Pika Chulita, who has
Cheese and
said,
crackers,
honestly,
man.
I hate gamers.
3 flags in bio and pronouns. Double whammy. And then talking about white people.
She also said this,
Fuck,
talking about
dude.
the scum-sucking filth in the gaming community. She said, we also need to be very honest about the elephant in the room. The majority of the perpetrators are white/white adjacent cis hetero men.
Holy crap! So even if you're mixed race, wait, white adjacent? I've heard that before. Isn't that what they say about Asian people in universities? Yeah, they say that. I've heard that said before a long time ago. Where they try to like say, oh, Asians aren't oppressed people because they get into colleges more than every other race, like up there with white people. That's crazy work, man. Again, flags, pronouns in bio. There's a chance. Not always, but there's a chance. It's a pattern. We see it here.
I gotta ask, what the F is wrong with y'all? Okay, that's pretty disparaging. Also, Smash JT would point out that in a interview, she would also describe white male gamers as a mistake. And don't worry, that label of white gamers actually expands as she kind of hinted at earlier. She refers to Asian people as white adjacent. So I guess welcome to the team. Any Asian viewers right now, I guess you're white now, according to this person. But you can see that coupled with her post talking about how she's proud to announce that she has joined the Compulsion Games team as the community manager. And it's just hilarious because what happened? All that drama happened earlier this year in March with her tweets, and she's just still there. Except she's now private, like everyone does. All these people, what they do is the second they get criticism, they just go private and hope everyone forgets. And
maybe the game will be half decent, or at least like, a mid-game. But this person just can't keep their mouth shut and they say dumb shit like this that... This is recent too! This part! This is recent! Like, my god, man, what are we doing? Just stop posting on social media!
And unfortunately, that's not the case, and the bio here is just hilarious. But anyways, I want to show one more thing, just because we saw Smash JT raising some of the points, where he also raised that Compulsion Games has preemptively blocked him so he can't actually engage directly with that teaser for South of Midnight. But some people are starting to argue with him, saying, good, I can't stand you idiots either. And he says, I don't even know who you are. And then this person says, studios need to start blocking more of you clowns. You don't like a game, go play something else. Wow, I guess they really didn't learn their lesson. They're using that...
Oh, these write themselves, I
Same
swear.
logic again. Well, challenge accepted. We will not be buying this game. But anyways, long story short, that is the connection between this film and some of its participants and the current drama with Compulsion Games. As you can see, despite the industry being so big, often can feel so small, where it's like the same bad actors coming together all the time to cause trouble and to add gasoline to the fire. But
Compulsion Games is accurate for their studio because they have the compulsion to be fucking stupid online. They can't help themselves. They have to say something to the people. I understand when you get extremely frustrated, but this is like a consistent trend.
But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Yay! That was a good video. Wow, another game, another day. Gotta maintain professionalism. You think I don't want to tell every single person that comes in and tells me to kill myself to go fucking die as well? We just ban them and make it funny out of it and we leave it alone. I don't start schizo posting on social media about how everyone hates me. Like, it's not that deep. Everyone gets hate. It's okay. It's okay to get hate.